Welcome to the short lecture on dating. This is a free dating masterclass. This is specifically for people who are looking for their husband and wife and how to set up the dating game to find your partner. It's not for those of you who just want to around and have fun. There are many other videos for that. This is not that. It'll involve around and having fun, but it's more suited to people who want to find their husband and wife. So, step one, be who you desire. I don't mean to suddenly dress up like a hot chick or a hot guy, become that. I mean more so write out the qualities that you're looking for in someone and be very specific. Fit, kind, loving. These are ones that, I'd look for. Sweet, attractive. And, maybe you like fashion, good sense of style. Try and be very specific. Vegan, I don't know. Just find ones that you are attracted to. Then, and this is the fun part, become those qualities, right? I think what we get wrong, especially nowadays, I see with women especially, not to call you guys out, but I just see it. I see, unfortunately, not the best looking or kindest woman, all expecting that they deserve a 10 out of 10 guy. I'm not going to settle until I find the 10. That's cool if you're becoming the 10, right? If you're also doing the things that that person requires. And there's also that entitlement with men. It happens on both sides too. But we have to get better at being realistic, right? We're not going to attract that perfect partner until we become that perfect partner. So, again, if you want to find someone who is fit, become fit. If you want to find someone who is kind, become kind. If you want to find someone who is sweet, become sweet. If you want to find someone who has money, get money. When you do that, it's important because when we're single, we can basically outsource all that to someone else. That I don't have to get money, be attractive, all those good qualities because I'll find it in someone else, right? That's not the way the world works. You can only attraction at its core level is a frequency, right? You're synchronizing the same frequency. How can you attract someone who's here and you're here? When you meet, you're not gonna attract. Attraction means you're in the same frequency, you're doing the same things, you're in the same kind of life. So you have to build yourself up to that space to attract that frequency. And it's helpful because on the path to finding your husband and wife, it can get lonely. You can feel desolate, you can feel discouraged. But when you're in that cycle of becoming your best self, you gain something from the single experience. Therefore, being single is actually a great space to be. And that changes the whole game. Because most people who are single are miserable. They don't like it. But when single becomes an avenue to become your best self, it's awesome. So that's step one. Become the person you desire. In the process, you will attract the one for you. I can almost guarantee it. It's the way it works. It just is. Next step, intimacy. I'm going to be real with you guys. You have to be very real with yourself about your capacity for intimacy. What I mean by that is, can you truly tolerate someone who is good to you, someone who loves you, someone who wants to take care of you? It sounds insane, but can you actually tolerate those things? Because I meet a lot of people, let's say a woman says, I want a nice guy who's sweet and takes care of me. Do they ever end up with that guy? No, they end up getting, f***ed over by a bunch of douchebags until they're like 35, 40, and they're like, oh, I'll go for the nice guy. So, and men too, men will think, I want a sweet, kind woman, and they end up attracting crazy females who just them over and over again. Why? Why do you see so many good people, beautiful, kind women, sweet, handsome men, fall in love with literal garbage? How do you explain that? Because unconsciously, they're not ready to be intimate. Someone else, a romantic partner, reflects your capacity for intimacy. That's how it works. If you attract and like someone who doesn't want to be intimate with you, treats you like trash, never wants to see you, and you like that, that reflects back to you that you aren't ready for intimacy. So, that's something you have to work with and be realistic with yourself for. If you find yourself in front of someone who your mind and heart desires, but you can't feel like you can be intimate with them, that's telling you have to do work on yourself. That you have to figure out, why can't I tolerate the love I desire? What's going on here? That's a whole separate class. I have a lecture on trauma, which is very useful because for the most part, we learn to love the way we were loved by our parents as a kid. If our parents, which most of us, unfortunately, most parents don't know how to love properly. They're busy in this capitalist matrix, making money and not taking care of their kids. It's just the reality. So we learn to love through having parents who didn't really care about us, who maybe beat us, yelled at us. So we learn to be intimate through conflict, through getting treated like trash. Therefore, we can only tolerate that until we heal it. So be aware of that, right? Like, ignore all this nonsense until do all this stuff once you're ready for intimacy. Be very real with yourself. And if you're not, do the work. One, figure out what the trauma is. What way did your parents love you that you're continuing? Or it doesn't have to be your parents. It could be your self-worth issue, right? Could you have been bullied as a kid? Like, it's all dependent on those things. I have a lecture on exactly how to deal with that side of things, the trauma piece. I'll link it in the show notes, so just check that out. So that's step 2. Be very real with yourself. How ready you are for intimacy, because you will only meet the one, the true beautiful one for you, when you're ready to be intimate with them. So this is a big one, intimacy. Next step, not the one. So on the path to finding, I know the one's a weird word, but in my romantic, I grew up in all these beautiful tales and Disney tales. I do believe in a one. I do. I think there's someone out there for us that's made for us in a way. We're made for each other. But where I'll disagree with that notion a little bit is there are ones to find the one. Our delivery to the one for us, is filled with people on the way, relationships that don't work out, that teach us what we have to know for the one, or teach us how to be intimate. Our up relationships on the way to marriage teach us where we're not meeting our standards of intimacy. So, going back to not the one. When you're dating, it can be very discouraging when you go on dates and it doesn't feel right. They have a quality you don't like, or they don't like you for some reason. But it helps when you have this mental reference of, just tell yourself, not the one. If they make a weird move, if they don't answer a text, forget them. It's not the one. It's not the one. Let it go. Don't trip up over someone you're not going to spend the rest of your life with. It's not worth it. Yes, I can say that logically. Logically, it makes sense. Repeat that. It's not the one. But we're human beings. Rejection hurts. I'm not going to lie to you and say that phrase will fix everything. Give yourself room to be stung. Give yourself room to be stung. There's beauty in the sting, especially for men. Especially for men. The times of up level the most in my life when I was the most hurt. There's something in men, we'll go to the gym, we'll improve ourselves. The woman, it too, it can. The heart has a beautiful ability to be broken open, and rejection is inevitable. It's inevitable. No matter who you are, I'm not the ugliest guy in the world. I get rejected. It's normal for anyone, and you almost want to get rejected. People who don't get rejected are great at doing this, playing games. They just know what someone wants to hear and they wear that mask. That's not being real. You have to get rejected before you meet the one, right? Because if it worked out with those people, you wouldn't have met that person. So don't shy away from the sting. When we shame the sting and run away, that's when we land ourselves in addiction, drinking too much, going to drugs, beating ourselves up. Accept that rejection is part of the game. Live by the sword, die by the sword. You're dating. It's part of it. It's part of it. I know it sucks. People are ruthless, but it's part of it. And what I can help with, honestly, is explaining why this happens, okay? I was so nice to this person. The sex was great. I did all these things. Why'd they ghost me? Why'd they do all these things? Most of the time, it's external factors that have nothing to do with you. It's mostly this. It's mostly that you are reflecting to them their incapacity for intimacy. It's happened to all of us, right? We're super nice to someone, good, treat them well, and they just ghost us or they don't text us back. How does that make sense? We're left in this confusion of like, what did I do wrong? In that case, you just showed them that they weren't ready for intimacy. You scared them off. They don't see it that way because they don't understand it, but you reflect to them what they can't do. You scared them. They can't deal with intimacy. So it's not on you. And I know it sucks, but you have to realize that it's not personal. Unless you did something up, unless you said some comment they didn't like, or, you treated them badly. Most of the time you're just reflecting to them their incapacity for intimacy, and it scares them away. So, not the one, let it go. Move on. It's all right. Step 4, game. You see all over the internet things like Riz, lines to say, pick up stuff. If you're trying to get laid, great. That's why I said in the beginning of this video. This video is for people who want to find their husband and wife. You want to use game. Because the truth is that the only game to create to find your partner is your game, right? Your potential wife and husband will love your unique game. Your unique game was created to attract that specific person. Literally. That one out there for you wants the realest version of you. You can only attract that person the more you become you. And please, like, that ability to just honor yourself and your way of dating, your way of flirting, that's unique. Like, it's so special. It's so special. And what ruins it is this shit. Is rejection, is dating, is people not wanting to be with you because you think that I did something wrong, that my game isn't enough. Yeah, good. Your game, your way of flirting wasn't right for the wrong person. It is what it is. So if you want to great, play a game. I don't think it's great. I think it'll lead to bad karma, all that kind of stuff, but it's the reality of this dating matrix. You have to play games. You got to, mirror back the other person's texting time. Like, there's shit that just happens. But that being said, for your partner, the only game is to be you. That's it. Figure out the best way to be you. What are your weird emojis you use? What are your, strange, funny flirting jokes you say? That's what will win over the person you like. When one person reacts incredibly well to that unique game, that person's for you. That person's for you. Step 5, dating. I wish I could say that person would just show up. You become the person you desire. I wish that they can just show up like that. Unfortunately, it's not how it works. As I said earlier, you have to enter relationships and meet people who show you who the one for you is, right? How can you know what an amazing slice of pizza tastes like without tasting some shitty pizza? It just is the way it is, right? And why dating is important is that you start seeing what kinds of partners aren't for you. You start picking up on qualities that you can't be with. Like, imagine falling in love with someone. I have been there, actually. Imagine falling in love with someone head over heels, and then you discover something about them that's f***ed up, or a way of them treating you can't tolerate, but you're already in love with them. You've given them everything, and you realize, I can't be with this person. That's why it's important to go through that, because through enough dating experiences, like 20, 30, you see 20, 30 things that don't work. So you're getting closer to recognizing the one that does work. I know dating's brutal and rejection sucks and ending situationships and relationships sucks, but you have to go through it in order to appreciate the eventual one for you, because you'll learn that the qualities you can't tolerate will lead you closer to the one, right? You'll see someone be on a date. Oh, they like Beyond Meat and I don't. I don't like that. Stupid example, but that's not the one. You'll start rejecting people and getting closer to the one for you. That's the last step. Summarize. Write out the qualities you want in someone, become those qualities. In that pursuit, you will become your best self, so the single process doesn't have to be so miserable. And when you're there, you actually attract that person because you'll be in the same frequency. 2, figure out your capacity for intimacy. Can you be loved? It's a loaded question, but truly, can you be loved? When the answer to that question is yes, yes, I can tolerate care, I can tolerate attention, I can tolerate the responsibility of a relationship, that's when you're ready. When that's no, you got some work to do. That's okay. 3, not the one. Don't stress about relationships that showed you that person isn't for you. Don't repress the sting of the rejection, but don't let it phase you too much. Please don't let it affect your game. And game, I know it's a weird word, but don't affect that experience Don't let that experience show you that who you are isn't enough. Because who you are is enough for someone. Sit with that. Who you are is enough for someone. That special someone. And all the people who couldn't appreciate that side of you don't matter because not the one. Game again. Be the side of you or the version of you, or unlock the version of you that is the most you. Because when you access that person, whoever you attract from that place is the one for you. Last one, dating. Go on dates. Experience people, experience romance, so you can see what you don't like. That'll get you closer to who you do like. I hope that helped you. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment if something resonated with you. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to watch more content, please click this video right here, and don't forget to subscribe right here. Thank you.